Hello and welcome to this video where we're going to take a look at the fading trap. And the idea behind the fading trap is, as we can see in this video, that when we hit the platform it will disappear gradually before it then totally disappear. So if you stand on it and it disappear, you will fall down in the lava. So let's go back to our project. From the past couple of videos we created these platforms and the lava, and we did also create this platform where it just toggled so it disappeared and it appeared again. But now we only want it to disappear when the user is actually jumping on it and then gradually fade away. Go and just delete the whole script here. So delete over in our Explorer. And then let's create a new script for the disappearing platform, and let's go and call it fade on touch. And that's just basically so we know what the script is going to do. Then let's go and remove this print and say that we want a local variable, and this is going to be our platform, the platform that we want to disappear. And as we know from the earlier videos, it is script and then .parent, because it is the parent of the script that we want to have inside this variable. We then want to go and make a local function, and this is just going to be called fade. So it's inside here. We're gonna make the fade logic. Just hit enter, then it will automatically add this end. And then finally we want to go and say when our platform is touched, then connect. And it's actually just like execute. So you could think of this connect like execute, and then you have to define a method that you want to execute. So in this case it's fade. So now when our platform is going to be touched by our player, then it will go and execute this line, and that will go and execute the function. So to make the platform fade away in some kind of smooth way, we will go and use a loop. And in this case we're going to create a for loop. So we say for, then we want a variable that can keep track of how many iterations we have been going through. So we just say count and set that equal to 1. So basically what that means is that we start at 1 and then we will go up to 10. Then we will go and say do, because we want it to do something. And if you hit enter, it will also again go and create the end automatically. Then we want to go and take our platform and say transparency and put that equal to something. So basically what we do is we go and take the platform, and then we're going inside the attributes of the platform. In this case it is the transparency that we want to go and manipulate. And then a smart way that they do it is that they say count and divide it by 10, because then when we loop the first time this count will be 1, and then we will go and set the transparency to actually what 1 divided by 10 is, and that is in that case it will be 0.1. Then it will go and loop through again the second time, and then it will set the count to 2. So in that case it will say 2 divided by 10, and that would go and give the result of 0.2. So you can see the pattern. We start at 0, then 0.1, 0.2, up to 1. So when it's 10 divided by 10, then it will be 1. And when the transparency is set to 1, then it is totally transparent. We cannot see it anymore. And when it's 0, then it is a solid platform in this case. But if we just do this, then it will go and execute it very fast, so we cannot see the fading. So what we want to do is to go and say that we have a task. And inside this task we can go and say wait, and then we can go and set a time that we want to wait. In this case it's 0.1. So if you go and calculate a little bit on this, then it will go and wait for 0.1 second, and it will do that 10 times. So it is basically 1 second that the fade is going to take before it goes from transparency from 0, so it's solid, to a transparency that is 1, so that it's invisible. But we do also have to remember that even though we make it transparent, you can still collide with it. So if you just stayed on it right now, it would still be there, even though you could not see it. So after this loop we want to go and say platform and then dot can collide and set it to false, because then when it is faded out we cannot collide with it anymore. So we will basically just fall through. Then we can go and wait again, and let's wait 3 seconds, because after 3 seconds we just want the platform to reappear. So we can again go and say platform.canCollide, and then set it to true again. And we will also go and set the transparency again. So platform.transparency, and put that equal to 0, because then we can actually go and see the platform again. So now when you look at the code, it should look like it was working fine. But in Roblox we have something that is called debouncing. So in that case, every time you actually touch the platform here, it will go and execute this. So, you know, every step you take on the platform, it will go and execute it for every single touch you make on the platform. And that would do, so this would just go and run many times, and we don't want that. So what we can do is that we want to go and create a new variable where we check if it is already touched. So in the beginning, it will of course be false because we have not touched the platform yet. And then what we can do inside our fade function is to go and say that if it is not touched, so is touched, then do something. And then we also want to have like this end down here, so that we end this if statement and just indent this so that it is better to read. And basically what this if statement do is that it says that if something, and in this case it says not, and when you say not, it will actually just go and take the value of this and just reverse it to the other boolean that you can put in. So in this case, in the beginning, is touched is false, so it will just go and say false in here. But because we say not, then it will go and make it true instead. And another way you could look at it is to say if it is not touched, then, and then do all the stuff in here. And then of course the first thing we want to do inside the if statement is to say that the is touched is now true, because if we come in here, then it means that we actually touch it for the first time now, and then we set it to true. So let's say that we just run this, then when we get through all the code, then is touched is still true because it will not go up here again. So next time we call the fade function, it will then be true. And if that is true, then next time you hit this, then you will not get through, because as you remember, it will do the opposite boolean. So if it comes with a true in here, then when we say not, it will do the opposite thing. So it will just see this as false, the whole thing here. If something is false, then it will not go and execute it again. So as long as this is touched is true, then we don't get in this fade function again. And then we can go and copy and paste it to the bottom here, because when we are done with all the execution here, we actually want to go and put it to false again, so that it is possible to touch the platform again. And that would also go and prevent the debouncing. So let us go and play this to see if it is working. And let's turn around. We can see that we have our platform here. So when we touch it, it will go and disappear. And now you can see I just fall down and die. So there's also no collision. And let's see if I can run over here. And when we run back again, we can see that the platform disappear, but after 3 seconds, it will go and appear again and then just work as it should. So that was actually it for this fading trap tutorial. I hope you enjoyed it, and else just go and have a nice day. Bye.